And all right, we're on. Hello, everyone. This is wmpyr. Joining me today, special guest Nayr. Dude,
What's
we
up?
we go way back, way back. Like the first time you contacted me, you were saying maybe 2010.
I want to say it was before 2010. I want to say 2009.
Oh,
No,
okay,
actually, no, it was 2010. It was 2010.
okay,
Or 2011. I could be wrong.
okay.
It was
So,
around there somewhere, around there.
all right, around that time, you were
Yeah.
interested in getting into like knife combat stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was the knife that you were interested in,
Yeah.
specifically. And
Specifically the knife, yeah.
well, do you like for me, man, the knife was like ever since I saw First Blood, Rambo 1 when I was a
Mm-hmm.
kid in the 80s, I think I fell in love with the knife. And then of course Commando,
Commando, yeah.
right, with Arnold, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
knife fight scene at the end. So
Yeah.
it was just kind of like knives was like the modern day sword for me.
Yeah. It's a sword you can put in your pocket, man.
Right.
And
So
you look
what
cool.
about for you then?
For me, are you talking about like, as far as movies and stuff?
No, like why knife?
Well, as a kid, I used to collect them because, I'm from the Bronx and back in those days, you could literally walk into a store and buy cool knives,
Really?
and ninja stars and all this everywhere you went.
Yeah.
So all the kids, all the boys would buy like, oh, look at this knife I bought, look at this ninja star that I bought. It was almost, you can't do that nowadays,
Yeah.
but back then it was normal. You could buy a poster of Shokasuki and then buy like a cool knife for like $10.
Dude, so did you have like a Bali song back in the day, a butterfly
I
knife?
did, I did, yes, but I
Wow.
was never good at it.
Yeah.
I was never good at it. I'm still not good at it. But yeah, I had it. I mean, they all were cheap.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Cold Steel or Spartacle or anything
Right.
custom. It was all like cheap shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had all that stuff.
This is like the stuff that I imagine like in the advertisements of Black Belt magazine or
Mm-hmm.
something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you flip
Yep.
through and they have knives and all kinds of martial arts equipment. That
Mm-hmm.
was just so cool as
That was the coolest.
right?
That was the coolest, man.
Right? Yeah,
It
exactly.
was.
Wow, so that's how you got into knives. How cool. How cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, my father's a martial artist. Like I grew up in that realm, like in that martial realm. My father did, he did karate, taekwondo,
Wow.
all these different systems, and he's still very into martial arts.
Wow. Okay, so you're
So I
like
had that little
second
edge.
generation. Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah.
He
And
would show me Into the Dragon and Chuck Norris movies and stuff.
of course.
I
Yeah.
was like, I still love that stuff. That's one thing you get tired of something as the older you get, but please, never. I could watch Chuck Norris movies and Bruce Lee movies and ninja movies from the '80s, dude. I'd just be happy all day long.
Was it the same here, man? The old school stuff? Oh,
Hmm.
it's gold. It's
Hell yeah.
solid gold, man.
They don't make them like that anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so since we're on the topic, like, what are some of your favorite Chuck Norris movies?
Well, Missing in Action 3 probably is one of my favorites. That's the most that I remember that the most. Is
Wow,
that the one where they put the burlap sack on his head and they put a rat in there?
that's
That's
two.
two.
Yeah,
That's two.
yeah.
Yeah, so I saw that with my dad. Maybe the Octagon.
Great. That
Even
speaking
the
of
crappy ones, like the last one he did. What was the one with Louis Gossett Jr.? I forgot the name of the movie.
the Patriot or something like that.
No, it was like him and Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh,
It's a really
oh.
famous fight scene in a bar.
Firewalker.
Firewalker.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
Sidekicks. Remember Sidekicks with that kid?
yes, Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh
oh,
man. Yeah.
Lone Wolf McQuade, one of my favorites with Chuck Norris. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
That
It's
is
been a while, but I've seen a lot. It's been a while since I've seen that. And also remember Walker Texas Ranger, the show.
right,
And
of course.
he sang the theme song.
And okay, so it also sounds like you were real into the ninja stuff. So you mentioned Sho Kosugi earlier.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Revenge of the Ninja, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's a
Fantastic movie, man.
whoa,
Why-
man.
It's like chicken soup for the soul when you put on those movies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, that is so cool. But then, you started getting into this the knife stuff very seriously. Like you started training.
Yeah,
Your first instructor was Barry.
my first instructor. Yeah,
Okay, could
my first real in-person instructor because I was in a car. I'll make it. I don't want to get too long into it, but I was in a car accident in 2009,
okay,
and it got laid me out. I was very social, always out in the street, and all of a sudden I'm home, in a hospital. I'm home, and I'm like, oh shit. And there was a couple of incidences where I was, walking to the store with a walker,
yeah,
and I felt like I was like you watch those nature shows, like an injured deer walking in the forest or whatever, and a wolf sees the injured deer, and they attack it. I felt very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Out there in the streets, limping around and in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell am I going to do if one of these guys wants to, mess with me? And I was like, maybe I should carry a knife. Maybe I should really carry one for real. Because I'm all banged up.
Yeah.
So that mindset stuck with me as I went to physical therapy and stuff. And I was reading all these books. I read Slash and Thrust, all the John Sanchez books, all the Paladin Press books I could find, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was reading, and also looking at the videos and starting to really see, okay, you could do a lot with just a little blade like that. You could do a lot.
Yeah.
And then after my surgery, and I was like, okay, I'm walking around, and that's when I started looking out for a teacher. And I went to other places.
Yes.
That I didn't really like, and then I met Barry, and I was like, I like him as a person.
Yeah.
He's like a real New Yorker, real tough guy.
Yeah.
You can tell he's not bullshitting around. And then plus he's like the way he moves and just the mindset of how he was telling me, like, you're not gonna stand there and boogie like West Side Story. You want to get away. Break the contact with your attacker, God forbid you get attacked, and just break the contact and get the hell out of there. So that stuck with me. A lot of these guys, they want to show you, do this, move that, move this, move that, move that, and it's like, that doesn't really happen like that. Have you ever seen somebody get stabbed? It's just like, just grab you and pump you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, so this, we got to get a little bit into this guy right here. So, Barry Kudna, am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah, he has these DVDs.
There you go.
Yeah, he has like 4 of them. Barracuda, like the fish Barracuda.
Yeah, true.
His last name is I don't even know how to pronounce it. Yadapnik, something, I don't know if it's Polish. I don't know what it is. But he just goes by Barracuda.
And like you said, he was trained under Danny Nosanto, so he's a JKD guy, right?
Yeah.
You said that he's also trained with Paul Vunak?
Vunak, yeah.
Okay, so wow, there you go. So
in the 80s, in the heyday.
Okay,
in the heyday, when Vunak had the mullet.
Yeah. All right, so back then, yeah. Wow.
While everybody was going crazy for ninjas, Barry was out there doing like Kali, which was like very hard to get into back in those days.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there wasn't that many places where you could train that.
Yeah.
So
he traveled. He used to travel. A lot of it was going on in California, so he used to save up his money and go to California, do the seminars out there, and then come back.
Yeah.
Eventually, he linked up with Vunak, and then they had a French. I don't know. They had some kind of falling out. I don't know the details. I know some things, but I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He broke away from that, but he did learn everything from those guys.
Okay. Right.
Santo and Vunak.
And I have actually seen one of his instructional videos on YouTube back in the day, and I can't find it anymore, but it was on there, and it was one of the, there's tons of instructional videos on YouTube, but it covered using the knife for self-defense, and it was one of the most realistic ones that I've seen. I was very impressed with the video. So I remember you told me that you started training with him, and I saw that video, and I believe I sent you a message saying, "Hey, man, your instructor, he's very legit, very solid from my eyes." So I believe I encouraged you, or
no, you did. You definitely did.
Something like that. So, but yeah, and then you said that this guy now, uh, some of his background, some of the jobs that he's had and stuff.
Mhm.
So he's been in some very
Yeah.
rough
I
jobs and
mean,
stuff
he
like that. Yeah.
first of all, he grew up in a very tough area,
Mhm.
which is a plus for me because it shows me, it's not easy. It's not easy to live where he grew up.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then he traveled to all over the country, and he ended up he was a prison guard in I think Indiana State Prison, I believe,
Wow.
for a couple of years. But he has a lot of stories about being in there, and he's seen a lot of crazy stuff in there involving shanks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And then he went to work at a juvenile detention center, which he said was worse than the prison.
That's crazy. Yeah. That is
They
crazy.
try to take his life multiple times. Like they try to stab him with pencils and shit like that. This is why I guess this is during a time when he was like, I gotta come up with an easier way, a simpler. This is the thing about Barry. He knows how to make. The thing with this knife stuff that I've noticed is that a lot of people try to overcomplicate something that doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff needs to be taken away, like all these moves and all these fancy things. I'm not trying to discredit those guys. They're really good at marketing and all that cool stuff. But he really simplified even how you think about once you pull it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even just pulling it out, everything's changed.
Right.
And you're not trying to get in some kind of entanglement. You're trying to like do your quick moves, and you're trying to go left, go right, take yourself out of the equation.
Yeah.
Back then, I thought you take out your knife and you're like, all right, now we're gonna have a knife fight. I had to get out of that thinking.
Yeah. Right.
Full disclosure, this disclaimer: I never stabbed anybody. I never even pulled out my knife in the street ever.
Mm.
I carry them. I follow all the legal laws. I don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, it's good that I learned from him from that time period. Then he moved away.
Yeah.
And then he would come back here. Okay, like once a year he'll come back. We'll meet up. We'll do like a training thing, and then he'll go back. And yeah, it's not like I could train with him consistently. I just took everything I learned and I just practiced it at home.
Yeah.
By myself. I would try to get my friends to like help me.
Yeah.
But who the heck is interested? You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find someone that's interested in this crazy shit.
Well, that's a shame because this. I mean, self-defense and this kind of thing is it's a real thing. It's not fantasy. So yeah, I mean, it's good to know. And
for sure, man.
So,
but you'd be surprised how many people don't think about it.
Right.
Even guys that I know, great guys, loving, generous, beautiful men and women, beautiful people, but they don't even think about their safety at all. It's just like go on the street. I just wish more of them would be more would think about this stuff more.
Right. Well, some people they don't have the mentality to be the sheepdog.
Mm-hmm.
The one that protects or watches. Keeps an eye out. They don't have that mentality at all.
Yeah.
So. And then maybe if they get put in a vulnerable position, kind of like you did, then that can start to just right, exactly.
Yeah.
For me, I was, when I started Filipino martial arts, but I was also doing the empty hand stuff, and I know a lot of people that do empty hand stuff, they don't want to do weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, kind of like you, looking at the ninja magazines and the all that. The weapons were cool as hell,
Yeah.
So it was easy for me to like it, and I also understood like for street, it would be maybe a wiser decision to have a weapon as kind of like as insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So those skills to me were valuable on the street. So I just separated, the empty hand stuff from the weapon stuff, and so I did my empty hand training separately. But in FMA, as you know, it's linked. Yeah, in the Filipino martial arts. So after Barry, you started training with some other people, right?
Well, after Barry, I was training alone. I was training alone. I would take a lot of tips from you, actually, like using the wall and coming up with different training devices. Hanging the tennis ball. I still do that.
Okay.
I got a bob. I got the bob bag with the arms and the legs now.
Oh, okay.
So I get to smack him around and work on my stuff.
Yeah.
But then in 2018, I linked up with the Dog Brothers New York City group, which I thank them all the time. They changed my life too. Because just as much as Barry did, those guys changed my life as well. Because the things I wasn't learning from Barry, I learned from these guys. I put them, I kind of like mash them together.
Nice.
Like Dog Brothers footwork, dude, is amazing. It really is so amazing, and the fact that they spar heavy. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of put you to the test to see how far they can go. I mean, they don't want. Obviously, some of these guys could really just run right through me, but they don't want me to be discouraged. So they do this, do that. They teach me about even how to control my breath. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I would get so hyped up, I would just start hyperventilating. But a couple of guys were like, control your breath. Find your footing, find your footwork, and find your range, and stay. Cut in, cut out. Don't stay in the pocket. Things like that I needed to hear.
Right.
So I learned, and I still learn from those guys.
Yeah.
I still meet up with them. I still train with them here and there. Not like as much as I used to, especially after coronavirus. Everybody was all broken up. So I learned a lot from the Dog Brothers. I still learn from them. I got myself a green tag. I'm proud of that.
Can you explain that? What is a green tag?
Well, it's their ranking system. You get a white, you get a yellow, you get an orange, you get a green. I believe it's blue or purple, then black, and then another black.
Oh, okay.
After you get the final one, you're like a full Dog Brother. You can teach the curriculum. They also have their own curriculum. You can teach their curriculum, and you're a full Dog Brother. You get a Dog Brother name. But you have to do certain things. You have to fight at 3 gatherings, I believe.
Oh man, yeah.
And, the big dogs gotta watch you and say, okay, he's worthy of the title.
Right.
I'm lucky enough to have trained with 3 full Dog Brothers.
Nice.
And
nice.
These guys are like us. They like to read about even like historical HEMA.
Yeah.
Swords and all weapons from all types of cultures and time periods. It's a very nerdy thing to be into. But when you find the right people that you could really rock with like that, it's awesome, man.
People don't. For the people that don't know, the Dog Brothers is a full contact stick fighting group with minimal protective gear. Just to give you guys an idea of what they do, and. My understanding, they spawned off of, they came out of the, like Paul Van Ack's group, right? Because like Crafty Dog was training with Paul Van Ack.
Yeah.
And then, he, I guess, kind of went off and started making his own. And then, of course, Top Dog, and the other guys joined in. But Surf Dog is Burton Richardson, right?
I think it's Salty Dog, right?
Or Salty
Top
Dog.
Dog, Crafty, and Salty.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, but yeah, they those were some of the founding fathers of that group. Yeah.
Those 3 guys.
Yeah. So, some pretty intense stuff. And
yeah, I mean, and I'm barely even in that realm. The guys that I train with, they're really up there. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are about to be full Dog Brothers very soon. Mm-hmm. And the head of the group, his name is Steve Sachs. Defender Dog is his name. This guy, you got to see this guy. He is very, very intimidating. But he's also super knowledgeable about like fighting. I've seen this guy fight 3 other guys, full contact, 2 sticks. And he's just like running around, cracking all these dudes. It's insane. I went to one Dog Brothers event.
Yeah.
In 2018, right? Yeah, it was 2018, and I saw guys fighting with chains, bro. They had chains, and they were just whipping each other with chains.
What?
They were actually took out whips and started. fighting with whips.
Wow, my goodness.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
These
guys are fighting with whips.
From my understanding, you pick a person you want to fight. You go up to the person and you say, "I want to use this weapon. Is that cool?" And they accept, or they go, "Oh, can we do this?" Or you negotiate, and then you go,
it's like that. It's like a school dance, man.
Yeah.
Would you like to fight? One big guy came up to me, this French Canadian guy. He was like, "Would you like to fight with me?" And I was like, "The big, hefty guy." And I was like, "No, I'm busy."
Yeah,
I'm not fighting that guy. You crazy?
That is crazy. That's insane. So other
really
than
cool. I love the Dog Brothers. I love the Dog Brothers so much. They're freaking awesome.
And other than the Dog Brothers, you're also studying pretty much whatever.
I'm also studying. I got one foot in this system called Kabbalah Serrata Eskrima that a friend of mine, Nick Merchant, who you should talk to as well. He's a really interesting guy.
Okay.
He is one of two. There's two guys that are certified to teach it in New York State, because it's it's based over there in California, so in the Stockton area.
Oh man!
So he would go to California and train, and eventually he got to go ahead to start teaching. So he's teaching here now.
I see.
He's got this new group. It's I want to say it's a couple years old, and he likes me, and we're a cool guy. So he was like, "Come on in, I'll show you." He's been showing me some stuff, and I'm learning a lot from him actually.
Nice.
So once you start linking up with certain people,
yeah,
and you got the same vibe, you guys think about the same kind of things. What if this happened? What if you did this? What if that? It's just really hard to find, man. You gotta really hold on to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think that's one of the Dog Brothers' creed, right? Where they go, training partners in life are rare. So if you get one, hey, make sure that you really grateful and appreciate that, right? That's one of the things they say. Yeah. Yeah.
You should actually talk to this guy, Foxhound, because one time me and him he's a full dog brother. And me and him had a conversation kind of like this, and we were just bullshitting about nice stuff, and he brought you up.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I was like, dude, I used to watch his videos too.
Oh, man, you guys are too nice.
Matter of fact, I'll send you his information.
Cool.
You gotta talk to him. This guy, first of all, he's super athletic.
Oh.
He has a lot of great high-level skill. He is a badass dude. He's such a nice, cool guy. You should totally talk to him.
Okay, yeah. Sure. I'll try to get in touch with him. Awesome. And so, just out of curiosity, what are some of your favorite knives right now?
My favorite knife is this little bad boy right here. This little Spyderco man bug that I got for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Because I could just walk in the street, hold it in my hand just like that. Nobody knows. It could be keychain from my apartment, and you pop it open, and there it is, right there. Right there,
yeah.
And it goes under the legal limitations in New York. It's supposed to be 4 inches or under. This is like 1.5 inches.
I see. So totally good, even for New York.
Yeah, and all the same stuff you could do with a 4-inch knife, you could do with this little baby knife right here.
Yeah.
And it's Spyderco, so you're getting top of the line. I'm really into Spydercos. I used to be into Cold Steel, but not so much anymore. I'm more of a Spyderco. As far as the bigger knife companies, I'll stick to Spyderco just because I like the way they feel better.
You liked Spyderco even back then, I remember.
Yeah, I was more of a Cold Steel guy because I did remember the Cold Steel Warrior's Edge, the Lindsey Thompson, the Warrior's Edge 3-disc DVD about the knife fighting and all that stuff.
I
had that. It was like super expensive at one point.
Yeah.
And this is during the early times too, and I was watching that series, that DVD series, a lot.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, wow, I really like Cold Steel, But as I got older, I leaned more towards Spyderco.
Towards the Spyderco. Okay.
Yeah.
So
what about you?
Me personally,
Yeah.
of course the from my lineage, my Filipino martial arts lineage would is the same lineage from Professor Bram Frank. So
Yeah,
his knife, of course,
yeah.
Uh,
I always liked his knives too. They always look cool and they look very functional.
mm,
And you can do a lot of stuff without even opening the knife.
right, right. Yeah,
Hmm.
to use it closed, I think is yeah, that's kind of unique.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
and that also was a plus in my opinion because once that knife gets open, it's like anything can happen. Your whole life's gonna change
right.
legally, spiritually, whatever,
Yeah.
psychologically. So, but if you leave it closed, like look at this one. Like, I got this Boker right here. This is the Boker Kwaikin,
Okay. Yeah.
and you could just leave it closed and use it as a little pocket stick.
Exactly.
You never have to open it ever.
Right. Right.
You can just leave it closed.
Yeah. That's a Kubotan right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and a
No.
little flashlight.
Yeah. And I think you're hitting on a good spot here because like the one of the things is the knife when you take that out there's consequences just like you're saying, but that also means that you gotta kind of wait until the situation is lethal, and a lot of times it's not clear when that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to wait till the last second to pull something out that has lethal force. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're going to use it closed, then that's a different story. I'm not saying that's a 100% guarantee, but at least if you get questioned by the police or the judge, you
Mm-hmm.
can say, "Hey, I used it closed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could have
Yeah,
taken it out, but I didn't deploy the
yeah.
blade." They got to
Oh, for
give you
sure,
props
man.
for that. Yeah.
Thanks. And I feel like I appreciate that, but I feel like more guys and more instructors should focus on that
Mm.
because not to name names or to throw anybody under the bus because everybody's doing their own thing. Everybody has their own mindset about how they want to go about their business.
Right. Of
Understand?
course.
But I feel like there's a certain, um, just like over glorifying of like extreme offense and extreme violence and doing all this crazy psychopathic shit that you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
gonna land you in jail, number one, even
Right.
if you survive.
Right.
I mean, okay, if you're gonna go overseas and you're gonna do some black ops special mission in the night, okay, great, fine. But if you're just walking down the street and you pull out your knife and start pulling the guy's head down, stabbing him all the major arteries and organs, and it's like, what the heck? I just feel all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I could see how it would, a young kid like, wow, that's cool, like entice them to want to like be like a badass guy.
Right.
But I just think that's irresponsible because at this point in the game, we're all older guys who shouldn't really be glorifying to be that violent. It should be justified if you're going to be that violent. And it should be more about you be glorifying peace and how to be de-escalate and how to just avoid altogether. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's not that much of that going on. And these days, it's more about like grabbing the guy, stabbing him 50 times, stabbing him in the gut and in the liver, and just like, okay.
It's definitely the fad right now in modern day self defense, isn't it? They teach you attack, and be as violent as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Attack first and don't stop, kind of thing, right? Pretty much until the guy's like on the floor dead or something. And
Yeah.
that is the fad. And part of it, I think, is the public. We wanted that. We wanted to know what's the baddest thing, and then so and marketing wise, they're like, well, this is what sells, and they just been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that even in a realistic self defense situation, right, that is a kill or be killed mentality. And anyone you've done, I've seen your Instagram videos where you've sparred with people knife fighting, and when you do that, when you do knife fighting, right, when you engage and you fight with a person, what happens? You also vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
You get stabbed in the face, you get stabbed in the stomach.
I
If
mean,
that was a real knife, you would be really messed up.
right. Just like in boxing or kickboxing, they both get banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, one person wins, but they both get banged up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an exchange that because you're playing the game. So it's back and forth, back and forth. And what your previous instructor Barry was saying is like there's no exchange in real life.
Yeah, he was against all that type of stuff as well. Sparring, the rubber blades, he was against that shit.
I totally understand that. I totally on board with that. Yeah, if you feel like your life is threatened and you gotta take out the guy, yeah, and this is one of the things he said. He said what he showed in the video was like a Charles Bronson Death Wish type situation where he's in a bus or a train, and then people are coming, and he would look like he was reading a newspaper, and then when they came close enough, he just cut them up. He made the first move, and it's kind of like Charles Bronson in Death Wish, where he just pretended like he was reading a newspaper and then he just shot them first. Is just like that, It was total deception.
I know what you're talking about. That's from the I can get that to you. After this is over, I can
okay. Get that okay. Thank you. But yeah, that was a great video, and yeah, so there is try to avoid the exchange. Now I believe the exchange, like the Dog Brothers, I mean they specialize in that.
Yeah.
To be able to fight there, you're badass to be able to do that. Now it's good to have that, but that's not something you want to aim for every time on the street, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. But most of the guys, they know how to, like you said, separate. They understand that when they're doing a 2-minute spar session,
yeah,
that's different from walking down the street, getting on the train, getting on the bus, whatever. It's two separate worlds.
Right.
And so they everyone I've ever met in that realm feels the same way. They understand like this is when you're sparring, it's more like a learning situation about yourself, right?
Yeah.
But then, yes, you can take those things from sparring into the real world, right? As far as your body movement and like understanding how close you are to someone, think those little attributes. But as far as like straight up going crazy and just like hitting and getting hit, they definitely separate it.
Right.
Especially the OGs, like the full Blood Brother guys, they really understand that very well.
Yeah. You can't play that game. It's. Yeah, and this kind of this is a story that I heard. I don't know how true it is, but at least it makes a really good point. Was a Filipino martial arts expert in World War II, right? So he's on the battlefield, and so he has his bolo, which is like a machete, their sword kind of weapon, and then he saw a Japanese imperial soldier, and that dude has a katana sword. And so it's like, oh, Filipino martial arts guy, expert versus, guy who is a descendant of samurai, maybe, guy who has a katana sword. So who's better? You could test your skill. Well, my understanding, what I was told was that the Filipino expert, he just took off. He ran away. And it's like, is he a coward? It's like, no, this is the battlefield. It's the wrong time to test who has the better skill. It's not about that, It's not about who's better at what. This is war. There's, explosions going on. People are dying left and right, and you're gonna try to see who has the better skill. You're out of your mind, So I thought that was smart, and I think that reveals a lot about the art.
Mm-hmm. There's for sure. I've met so many guys that. We've had these types of discussions, and like the first thing you want to do is you don't want to, if they're pulling out a butcher knife, and you have enough time, you don't want to be like, oh shit, let me put now we're gonna dance. you got a jet, you got a boogie, man. You want to bounce,
right?
Or at least create enough space so you could have some kind of chance of how am I gonna deal with this right now?
Yeah.
You don't want to just go in there and start like beat it. Remember the end of Michael Jackson beat it and they wrap their hands and they start, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that macho ego mentality that gets you killed.
Exactly. You
always gotta play it cool, man, all the time.
So that's what you were saying, that in if you got to run away, but if you can't run away, there's times where, don't stay in the pocket. You got to get close. And you got to, why are you getting close? I'm sure the same with Dog Brothers or anyone else is to neutralize that blade. You have to neutralize it because, you don't want to just jump in close and, you're making it easier for them to kill you. You got to stop that arm, right? Control it.
Yeah.
So,
and look, I did an event up in Massachusetts in November.
Yeah.
And I was going to do a knife spar, right? I did one knife spar. I was going to do a second one. It's the first time I ever sparred with a female in my life.
Okay.
And if that was a real knife she had in her hand, she would have took my head off.
Oh.
Like, she went in, man. And lucky it was, obviously, we didn't train on it, but at the end of the spar session, she came at me again, and I had to figure out like how to neutralize her arm.
Yeah.
Keep her arm caught, trapped, so that she couldn't keep stabbing me.
Right.
But what I should have done was done that in the beginning, But you can't do that out there. You can't. There's no woulda, shoulda, coulda. It's like you do it or you don't.
Right.
When you're walking down the street.
So that was a valuable learning experience for you.
Big time.
Big time. Yeah.
Major. And it came from. And she's really amazing. She's an amazing woman. She's really tough. But I learned a lot. I look at that video and I'm like, damn. If that was a real, my head would have been chopped off. I feel.
Yeah.
But towards the end, I kind of got my bearings, and I made some adjustments, and I was like, all right, now I trapped her arm. So you take those lessons and you move it, you move forward. So, which I love about sparring. I'm sure you do as well. Like you get to learn about yourself and how what you can do. You understand?
Absolutely. At my age, I'm 46 now. By the way,
I'm 44.
44. Okay, so now I don't do the sparring. I don't do full contact. But what I do is I do a bunch of drills, and I try to make the drills as realistic as possible. So that's what I do with my students and stuff.
No, that's good. That's good.
So
I want to get actually more into that. Like, what do they call that? Conditional sparring, where let's say you're trying to grab my knife out of my hand, and that's the whole session right there.
Yeah.
I really want to get into that.
You could laser focus it, or you could control it, restrict it. And so it's not full blown sparring, or it's definitely not full contact sparring. But you could do stuff like that, and you could pick out little things that are realistic from it. And as long as your head doesn't get big and go, oh man, you see that's real life right there, because it's not. So it's just little portions of it is realistic. So as long as you keep that in mind, you're good.
No, you're right. That's how anybody doing this type of stuff should be. No one should ever have a big head. Thank God I never met anyone with a big head, ego and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, anyone could look. If you pick up a freaking pencil, any little, you give a knife to a little baby kid, they're the most dangerous person in the whole freaking room. You understand?
Unpredictable. You
definitely can't get an ego with this stuff. I mean, I know I've been doing it for this long period of time. A lot of it on my own, then with other people. But I'm like a super beginner still.
Well, what do you hope
forever,
to?
I'll be a beginner forever in my mind. I mean, compared to if someone sees me what I'm doing, they might think. I just feel like this type of thing. It's like it's for the rest of your life.
Right.
And as soon as you get to that place, you're like, I'm the best at this and that, and it's like, forget it.
That doesn't exist.
There are a lot of guys out there like that.
Right.
For example, let me give you an example of a guy.
Okay.
I think it's that Korean guy, DK. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
With all the fancy stuff, and then he had the boxing match, and then he got beat up really pretty bad, man.
When you do the drills, and in the dojo, and granted, you practice the drills over and over and over and over in this very safe environment. Just like playing the piano. You could become really good at it, and that's I think what happened to the guy who's very, very good at those demonstrations. But that's not the same as fighting, That's
When the
not the
pressure
same.
was on, I didn't see any of that stuff when the pressure was on.
Exactly. It's not the same as real life application, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, and that's one of the things why Dog Brothers go full contact is
Yeah.
is because they go the truth is revealed from what did they say, higher contact, higher
Yeah.
consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
that's what they're exactly what they're talking about. You know, the truth is revealed,
Yeah.
you know, as you go. So you know, you can't hide behind the dojo. You can't hide
Mm-hmm.
behind your rank or anything like that. You know, it's
Yeah.
just do it. And so
Yeah, those guys are very. That's why and I was lucky enough to a friend of mine, Alberto Perez, who you'd love to talk to as well. He's super nice. He's an encyclopedia. You know who Stick Rapper is?
no,
Those two guys. They my friend of mine, he invited me to the New York group, and from there I slowly fell in love with it and love the group, love the guys, amazing guys.
nice.
And that's when you see the difference between sparring, but when they go full contact.
Yeah.
I would love to just watch the guys like go full contact, and I'll just be videotaping. You know what I'm saying? I would like, you know what? I don't even want to spar with any of you guys. I don't want to get bruises. I don't want to get hit.
Yeah. Right.
But you learn a lot when you train like that. Even if you do it for a little while, you still learn a lot.
Yes, it's all about the experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, but that's kind of the hard part, you know, is to get the experience without getting majorly injured. That's a dilemma, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you see these guys and you're like, they come back, they got big old knots on their arms, they got knots on their forehead. I'm like, I don't want any of that to happen to
right.
me.
Yeah.
That's why I like the knife stuff, because I don't really, yeah, you get like stab bruises on your stomach, you know, but other than that, you're not getting like major hits, you know?
Yeah, the stick is an impact weapon. I mean, that, and dude, I have a bunch of Eskrima sticks, you know, and I know that the Dog Brother stick is bigger and heavier and longer than the normal Eskrima stick. So, yeah, I can only imagine.
And it's like, and they just like, no big deal, stick hickeys, man, stick hickeys. I'm like, oh, not me. No thanks. But yeah, man, great guys.
Where are you trying to head with all this? Like, what do you plan to eventually?
I don't know. I think that I hope. Look, the way the world's going, we don't know what's going to happen at any given moment. We're super vulnerable right now to anything. So I really don't know. It's more like I just do it because I feel like I need to do it. And need to keep learning, and even if I'm by myself, just do my own solo shit, you know?
Right.
I would hope that, you know, I'm not in the greatest shape, you know? Like, I have asthma, I have bad hips from my accident, I have a bad back, I got flat feet, I'm like 50 pounds overweight, I got a lot going against me. But I want other people that are in my kind of situation to not feel like have that defeatist mentality of, oh, I'm out of shape, I can't do it, they're gonna kill me in 2 seconds, I give up. Just because you're banged up doesn't mean you can't like defend yourself or protect your loved ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to write a book. I don't want to have a DVD. I don't want to have a school. I don't want any of that stuff. I just want to keep doing it for myself. And you know how it is out there. You go out there you go to a nice peaceful place and you start like doing your nice little flow and you start to feel like a calmness and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like meditation.
That forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Meditation in motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. And plus, I know you like this stuff. You know, like we were said in the beginning, you like knives and stuff. It's you know, this is fun stuff. This is the nerdy stuff that you're into. You know,
Dude, I collect. Come on, man! I collect. 80s ninja books.
Nice. Oh, oh
I
yeah.
got a lot, man.
That was Stephen K. Hayes, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I got a lot, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, martial arts is like your playground, bro.
Hell yeah. Check this one out.
Oh,
This
nice.
is Stephen K. Hayes as well.
Wow, that's
I
old
found this
school.
in a bookstore in Maine.
Yeah,
Another Stephen K. Hayes.
and they look like they're in pretty good shape too.
Ninja Warrior. Yeah, they're in pretty good condition, man.
Yeah.
I have Ninja Grappling Hook, Ninja Claws, Ninja Stars from the 80s. I got the Ninja Foot Spikes, all that
Nice. Yeah. You know,
my biggest regret was when Paladin Press closed. They had a major sale.
did
and
they?
I didn't take part of it, man. And I regret not buying those books for like $2. You know what I mean?
Oh man. So are they out of business now?
Yeah, they've been out of business for years.
Oh, okay.
Years.
So
they had a big sale when they went out of business.
Wow.
All their books, and I was like, I'll get it later. And when I finally wanted to get it, all the books that I wanted were gone.
Yeah. My
like
God.
Bob Casper's Sting of the Scorpion. I always wanted that book.
Which one?
Bob Casper's Sting of the Scorpion.
Okay.
I always wanted that one. I never got it.
What is that one about? What is that one about? Bob Casper?
Yeah, Bob Casper, right? It's Kasper.
Is he a knife guy?
Sting of the Scorpion. I think it's the book's name.
Is he a knife guy?
Yeah, it's like a knife book.
Yeah.
It's like a knife defense book.
And he became a knife maker, right?
I think so.
I think so too. Yeah. Bob Casper. Yeah. I believe so.
I wanted his stuff. I wanted the Mark McYoung stuff. I have a couple of Mark McYoung's books, but
Animal.
I wanted all of them. You know.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff, man. That famous VHS tape, and he's with the background. It's like the green background. Okay. And he's like, "This is what a real knife attack looks like." He like jumps on the guy and starts stabbing him, and on the floor, and like grunting is hilarious, man.
I haven't seen it, but it sounds intense.
And then people have remixed it and made it look really funny, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'll send it to you. I'll find it and send it to you.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, dude, I think we've been talking almost 50 minutes now, so I think this might be a good place to stop this.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pleasure getting together with you and talking about this stuff. I hope we could do this again.
And I want to link you up with that guy Foxhound.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe Stick Grappler.
All right.
These are really knowledgeable guys, man. They know way more than me. I mean, I'm just a regular street guy.
Okay. Hey, well, man, that has its own appeal,
Right.
That people can relate to that too. So excellent.
Yeah,
well, thank you so much, Nayr.
And thank you, man. It was awesome to talk to you, dude.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. That's it for now. Wmpyr, over and out. Laters.